October 6th, 2023. If you listen closely, you may hear the band from Shaker High School's homecoming football game, which is tonight. So it reminds me when I was a kid and lived within a mile of Estruma High School in Baton Rouge. And you could hear it sounded like a huge commotion on the distance, long time ago. So this evening I'm thinking about what might cause healing and what's actually likely to cause healing, because they're not the same. Again, my take, your take may be different, is that we have been trying to heal ourselves forever. We've been trying to heal ourselves for as long as we've been human. And we've tried all kinds of approaches. So I've tried hunkering down. Didn't work. I've tried writing about it. Didn't work. I've tried turning my wounding stories into a kind of stand-up routine, which was interesting and was at times fun. Didn't work. I've tried spiritual routes, and if you followed the earlier podcast, I tried spiritual routes very, very, very intensely, deep enough to where if they could have impacted trauma, they would have. Didn't work. I've trying to find healing through connection, through love, through relationships. And while I got connection and love through relationships, I didn't actually get healing. So it didn't work. I know a lot of people who numb with chemicals or numb with television or numb with relationships or numb with other things. Doesn't work. And all of these things make sense. All of these things are really good strategies that you might try. But they don't work. If they work, they work in a very small, piecemeal, sideways kind of way. So, and I'm gonna state, it's not a particular controversial thing among EMDR therapists, but talking about your trauma and having a certain type of catharsis, it may make it a lot easier for you to talk about. If that's the goal, if you make equivalent talking about the ease of talking about something with healing, then I suppose it can heal if that's your metric, but that is not a modern metric of what healing is, right? Healing is something that dramatically shifts how you think about yourself in the world. So, have you tried talking about your trauma, and are large parts of it still stored where trauma is stored? If so, then it doesn't work. At least it doesn't work reliably, predictably, consistently, the way I'm thinking about when I'm asking about what kinds of things do work. So, there's a large array of things that don't work that we've tried. Our best cultural guidance leads us to these things, right? You need to find somebody and talk about this stuff. And of course, also not particularly controversial, the vast majority of therapists have absolutely no idea how humans heal. And they're the people who are most responsible for guiding people out of that underworld. And I'm going to say it even more directly. The vast majority of therapists have not themselves undergone the key healing work on their own wounding. So how do people actually heal? How do you actually heal? We have this cultural guidance about how you should be able to heal. We have this professional guidance, right? Right now, talk about your shit is the most common healing strategy in the professions in which I'm aligned. Talk about it. Talk about it. Doesn't work. Not by any metric that I'm defining working as. So what does work? What works? And what I'm going to suggest, and I've suggested it all over the place for the last, many years, what does work is having experiences. Having experiences that activate a particular piece of memory content, and then having an experience that is different than that content. And that should be one of the most sensible, reasonable, understandable things in the whole universe about how we heal. Okay? Should be one of the most sensible understandings that a human can possibly have. We have when we have experiences that show our bodies, show us, bottom up, show us that what we're expecting to have happen in the memory that we just thought about or just brought a little piece of into awareness isn't happening right here, right now. And that we have options. Our body has options. So when you have an experience that is different than the expectation in the bad memory, every piece of you can see clearly, articulately, and without doubt can see that experience is over. And as we have that experience, the experience of the bad memory is transformed. So what I'm saying, and I've been saying it, I'm not the only one saying it, is that resolving individual memories, healing from individual memories in 2023 is no longer a difficult task. It's not. There are strategies that your therapist, if they were trauma-informed, could use that would give you a 90+% chance that whatever memory you target can be resolved in one session. This is also not controversial when you do approaches like Flash well. Most people that I know who are doing Flash regularly and are doing it well wouldn't find that statement controversial. So resolving individual memories is an easy clinical task in the 21st century. It just is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And for goodness sakes, don't see someone for trauma who cannot tell you how humans heal. Ask them. Ask them. How do people heal? If they don't have an explanation for that, you're seeing the wrong person. You may be getting guidance about how to escape the underworld by someone who is still in the underworld themselves. And yes, these people can be really, really helpful in keeping you company, but you need to find your way out. Your nervous system needs to find your way out, because you're gonna start getting sick, because carrying trauma is carrying stress. And we all know carrying stress is no good, and carrying traumatic stress is the worst stress of all to carry. So we've been sold bullshit. We've been sold bullshit. And the bullshit relates to how humans heal. And I'm just going to ask you, has it worked for you? Right? Has how you have tried to heal worked for you? Meaning, can you play that memory and that memory feels over? You can account for the time between now and it. How you think about yourself in the world is completely different than when that memory was stored as trauma. And every part of you knows that it's over. It doesn't show up as bullshit insecurities bullshit insecurities is a little bit judgy, because if your nervous system doesn't know that it's over and insecurities are showing up, then maybe we don't call it bullshit insecurities. But we know in the 21st century how humans heal, and we need to be doing that. And I'm in a little bit of a dilemma, because I would love to show you. I would love to show you. I would love to show my friends. I'd love to show my family. I'd love to show I don't really have enemies, but I'd love to show my frenemies how humans heal, because we all need to be doing it. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I'm up to. I'm trying to figure out how to make these weird psychotherapies sound and feel normal. Because if your healing strategy isn't weird, it's not working. We need healing strategies, because our best cultural intuitions have kept us locked up for all of this time. We have been told that resourcing, that mindfulness is equivalent to healing. It's good enough. And it's not good enough. You're still going to get sick. It's not good enough. We've been told that you have to see a professional in order to heal from your memories, and I don't believe that's true. I think it's a really good idea, assuming the professional that you see knows how humans heal and can guide you through that process. So I don't know who you would end up with. I don't know if you would end up with someone who practices transformational trauma therapies. Transformational trauma therapy is a therapy in which whatever you target, whatever memory you target, resolves in a session or two, or has a high probability of resolving in a session or two. Okay? Each individual memory. So I'm trying to develop tools. I'm trying to develop language where people can use these pathways that, by the way, are already inside you. These healing pathways that I help clients tap into, they are in you. They are in you. I don't create those pathways. They're in you. They're as fundamental and as central to you as is your skin, your blood, your nervous system, your heart, all of which are real and physical and there and ready to serve you. So I'm trying. I jokingly say, again from this duality, I jokingly, not jokingly say that what I'm doing is trying to help change how mental health services are delivered globally in the 21st century. And if that sounds crazy, I'm just going to ask you, what are you doing? You know what I mean? If this is good enough, if what we have right here, right now, is good enough, I don't mean to be an asshole, but I'm wondering why. Why do you think mental health services in 2023, what we have right now, is good enough? And why are you not trying to change how mental health services are delivered to your clients to the extent that you can? Why are you not trying to share best practices of healing with everyone that you can come in contact with? So it sounds grandiose, but I think those of us who get it, those of us who see that trauma is the biggest public health crisis in the history of our species, get it. That we have to make it accessible. We have to make it accessible. And a lot of how we do that is removing the cultural obstacles to it. So I'm on a big project. I have enough big projects. I'm raising my nephew. I'm taking care of my mom who has serious mental health issues. I have my clients. I have my projects. I have a lot of things. But if you're a therapist and you understand how humans heal, say so. If you're a therapist and you see people heal all day long, say so. Right? If you're a therapist and you see ways that humans can heal, I think we have an obligation to spread that good news. I don't think there's any other good news in psychiatry other than the fact that humans can heal from what is wrong with us, one piece at a time, reliably, predictably, consistently. That is very, very good news. So, let's share it. Let's say it out loud. This is one way that people can heal. This is one way that people can heal, and we need to find ways that people can do this on their own, because they've been trying to heal on their own for as long as they've been human. We have to.